What's going on, you guys? Mr. Allen here with a wonderful problem on arc length and sector area. Oh, I love me some circles. All right, so we want to find the arc length and sector area given this circle here, which looks like it has a radius of 10 inches, and we have a central angle of 140 degrees. Well, my central angle I know is equal to my intercepted arc measure, so this is going to be 140 degrees as well. Arc measure and arc length are two different things, okay? Arc length is the actual distance around that, whereas the arc measure is just the degrees out of the total 360, okay? Now, the way I like to solve for arc length and sector area is by setting up a proportion, okay? So my formula is where we'd have, let's see here, we got our arc measure, so arc measure over my 360, the total 360 degrees, okay? That's going to be equal to my arc length, so arc length divided by the total distance around, which is my circumference. So we'll go ahead and use 2 pi r, or you could do pi times diameter, right? So that is my formula for arc length, right? So arc length. There's different ways to write this, right? Some people like to write out a full formula, but I like the proportion because then I can solve for any missing part. Some problems will say solve for the radius. Some will say solve for the arc measure given the arc length, okay? This one, pretty straightforward. We give you the central angle to get your arc measure, and you've got your radius. So let's go ahead and plug everything in. My arc measure I know is 140, so 140 over 360 equals my arc length, which I currently do not know. I'll call that x over 2 pi times my radius, which is 10. There we go. Now, I'm going to keep things somewhat nice right now. I'm going to go ahead and simplify, cancel out those zeros, right? So I got 14 over 36. We could even go down to 7 over 18, but I'll leave it like that for now, okay? So now I have 14 times 2 pi times 10. So here's how I'm going to do this without a calculator. We'll see how long we can go without it. Otherwise, I got this bad boy here ready for me. All right, 14 times 10 is 140. Times 2 is going to be 280, right? You do 2 times 14, that's 28. Times 10 is 280. So we got 280 pi equals 36x, okay? I'm going to divide by 36 now on both sides. Notice I'm not multiplying the pi through a lot of these. They're going to want you just to keep things in terms of pi. I am. I'm going to bust it out for this one, right? So we can hit 280 divided by 36. We get 7.7 repeating. If you hit math and then you hit if you hit math and then the first option there is frac, I'm going to hit enter and then enter one more time. I get 70 over 9. So we can leave this as 70 over 9 pi equals x. That would be my arc length. Okay, and that'd be inches, right? So inches. Boom. Now, if you were asked to put this into decimal form, you could. We could multiply that guy by pi, right? And we're going to get 43, right? So 24.43 inches. That'd be the approximate answer, right? I put a little squiggly equals there. That's my approximate for x, okay? Decimals, because I've rounded, are approximate. But remember, I only rounded once, right? Yo-ro. Okay. Lovely. Now onto sector area. Now sector area actually has a very similar formula, okay? It is still going to be my arc measure, so arc measure divided by the 360, that's the same, equals, then it's going to be my sector area divided by, well, what's the whole circle? That's the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. So the only thing that's changing here, and again, why I like this proportion, is that I'm swapping out my circumference for now my area because we're talking about area. And it's going to work the exact same. I'm going to place everything the exact same way. So my arc measure is 140 degrees over the total 360 degrees equals my sector area, which I do not know, but we finna about to find out. And then we have pi times my radius, which is 10 squared. So now that's going to be 100, right? 100, that's boom, boom. Simplify that. Let's pop down here. So we got 14 over 36 equals, we get x over 100 pi. Now I'm going to cross multiply, okay? We get 100 times 14, right? So we're going to come on up here. We've got 1, 4, double zeros, pi. It's a weird looking zero. All right. Equals, we got 36x. So now I'm going to take that 1400, right? 1400, divide it by 36. and I get 38.8 repeating. So I get decimal again. Hit math, hit frac, hit enter. We got 350 over 9 pi for x. That is my exact answer, right? That is my exact answer there. This would be inches squared. I ran out of room there, right? Inches squared, because we're talking about area there. Woo! Beautiful. Now, if I wanted to approximate this, right, I could just multiply that by pi, and I would get, let's see here, 122.17, so 122.17. That is my approximate for x, and that would be, again, inches squared. Okay, so exact is where we leave it in terms of pi. So we just work with all the numbers, right? Think of the numbers as your mathematical meal, and the pi is your mathematical dessert. You save it for the end, right? And then I can multiply it through if we want. But a lot of these will be asked to put in exact, so you're going to have a fraction times pi, or maybe an integer times pi. There we go. That's awesome, man. So that sector area is just this little chunk right here, this slice of the circle, and then our arc length is that total distance from A to B if we were to walk this circle. All right, if you're going to apply this, we're probably going to go with the rounded values, right? But if it's on a math test, a lot of them are going to be in terms of pi. That is dope. Thanks for hanging around, dogs. Thanks for hanging around. See you later.